What is going on, my nieces and nephews? It's your least favorite unk, back at it. As you notice, we did not start on the range today, but this is my 1,000 mile review, and is the Ninja 500 still what I consider the best beginner bike? Yeah, I really feel like this bike is the best beginner bike out there right now. Is it perfect? No, I wouldn't say so, not at all. There are a few things that for me at the moment make it pretty tough to ride, but I do it anyways because obviously I've put 1,000 miles on this thing in a month. Actually today is actually 4 weeks, so let's just get into the meat and potatoes about what I dislike about the bike, and what will be changing after I get my initial exhaust and stuff done. And it's the handlebars, especially the position. The height is okay for me. It's more of the angle. I need these to be a little bit more forward. I get a lot of pain in my palms and my hands, and I don't really have, as you can see, I don't hold the handlebars very tight either. It's just the position, because for me to have my wrists actually straight, my arms need to be really in all the time instead of kind of relaxed out here, because once I go out here it just bends it too much and I just get a little bit of pain, and it's very uncomfortable. My hands hurt. Like they hurt. They're like, not the whole hand, it's the muscles in the last two fingers, from basically how I hold it here and just use two fingers, and when I'm, you know, slowing down, speeding up and stuff like that. So yeah, my hands are sore, and part of that is also that, you know, I'm using these so much, right, like this, so many times when I go out riding, because I go out riding for a couple hours after work almost every night. And so some of it is that, you know, just like working out, you just start working out, you're gonna have DOMS, you know, you're gonna have delayed onset muscle soreness, right? So some of it is that, but some of it is really the position. So I'm gonna probably, when they are in stock again, is get the Graves 41mm riser clip-ons, which do put the handlebars up if you want, because they can be clipped under or above the clamps. So I'm definitely going to go get that when it's back in stock. It's a couple $100, not really too bad for clip-ons, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. But for me, it's a big con of this bike, and it really makes things uncomfortable, especially when I wake up in the morning. My hands do not feel good, so we're gonna need to get that worked out. And I think the bigger, or another big issue with the 500, as I'm sure probably most 400 owners are aware, and probably anybody else with a 500, is that this seat is complete ass. The seat is good for about 15 minutes, and then just everything just hurts. Like, there's no padding on this butt. So after, you know, an hour, a couple hours, it's rough. I haven't found a whole lot of options for the 500 that actually fit properly. I know you can get the 400 ergo seat, but it leaves a garbage gap in the bottom front that I can't do it. There's just no way. It looks horrible. I may provide a lot better seat, but it just looks like garbage. So I can't do it. Like I can't. And the Ninja 500 ergo seat is 400 bucks. I'm not sure my ass is worth 400 bucks to tell you the truth. So if anybody has any recommendations for a seat that is made for the 500, not the 400, because again, I cannot stand the little gap that's in the seat, let me know. That's, you know, reasonably priced and actually works good. I'd be interested in taking a look, because yeah, this seat is not good, but it is livable to the point where, you know, I'm not worried about getting it swapped out right away like I am the handlebars. The handlebars will be something I need to work on pretty quick. So that's what we'll do after the exhaust and everything. So yeah, but other than that, I think the 500 is an overall amazing machine. It's got plenty of power, enough power for you to have fun, but not nearly enough for some of us to get in trouble. Some of us newbies, some of us people with the inclination to do stupid things. I don't necessarily have an inclination to do stupid things, but I'm a beginner, right? And so I'm gonna do stupid things whether I mean to or not. I mean, that's just the nature of being a beginner. So yeah, and after 1,000 miles I'm still having a blast. You know, like a lot of people, after a month, 2 months, I outgrew the bike. You know, if you're a beginner and you're saying you outgrew this bike in a month, like, I'm gonna call you out and just say that's BS. That's nothing but your ego talking. Because there's, like, I guess as well, let's ask the question, what does outgrow mean to you? If you were someone that got a 500 and outgrew it in 2 months, right? Like, I saw a couple comments that said, oh, I outgrew it in a couple months. What does that mean? Like, I don't understand what that actually means, especially as a beginner, right? For you not to be a beginner, you need to put many hours and many miles on your bike. You need to experience a variety of situations. And so that if anything were to happen, your instincts kicked in before panic, because you've done them thousands of times, right? And as a beginner, right, in a month, 2 months, I don't care how many miles you're putting on there, you're not going to be able to put enough miles, in my opinion, to not call yourself a beginner after 2 months and say that you've outgrown a bike. I think that's just pure ego talking, right? But that's me. And again, like I say, like, who am I to tell you to do or not do something, right, based on your abilities? But then again, let me ask this question. For those of you that said you outgrew your bike in a couple months as a beginner and you upgraded, how many of you after that have gotten into a wreck, have dropped your bike, have, you know, done something that was detrimental to riding? So answer that for me as well. But for me, after a month of riding, I'm more comfortable on the bike, absolutely, but I'm still absolutely 100% a beginner. And there's still things that I do that I'm like, oh shit, right? So I don't consider myself not a beginner. Oh shit, like that. Probably following behind this car a little too close, didn't see that pothole. Like that was a perfect example. Like I was two in the middle behind the car, so I couldn't see in front of it. I was probably following a little too close, and that pothole came up and I didn't see it, and I basically ran right the fuck over it. So that's even what I'm talking about right there, right? Like perfect example, and that was like perfect timing. So stuff like that, right, is what I'm talking about. Like I'm still a beginner. Like even after 1,000 miles and many hours, I'm still a beginner. And I still treat myself like a beginner, even though that I'm more comfortable, right? I've put lots of miles on the bike. I don't feel like I'm a newbie anymore. Like I don't feel like I'm a noob, right? I'm absolutely still a beginner, but I'm not that noob that is a little scared to hit the freeway, is a little scared to hit some of these back roads. Now, granted, I still haven't done a lot of back roads. Today is actually a day I'm gonna kind of go hit some a little bit, and I'm gonna be on my own. It's not a group ride. I don't need to ride anybody else's ride. I need to ride my ride. Look, and see, that's roundabouts I've ever taken, and I had to remind myself to look through that, and not give throttle as I'm increasing lane angle, because that's a perfect recipe to low side. But I'm learning. I'm learning the limits of the bike. I'm learning, wow, that was a big bug. I'm learning my limits. So, you know, that's how I feel. And if you really think that a 500 isn't about the most perfect beginner bike, I think that's ego talking. And you know, that's fine. Go jump on your 600, 1,000, whatever. Do whatever the F you want to do. Like I said, I'm just your unk, right? I can give you a little bit of advice, but I'm gonna support y'all. You want to do what you want to do. I'm there with you, nephew. I'm with you, man. Go do your thing. I'll be the one there that you call when you don't want to call dad, when you don't want to call mom at night. You know, you're gonna give unk a call, right? So yeah, do what you gotta do. Where's that motherfucker going? There ain't no back there. So yeah, do what you want to do. But my opinion is still that this is the best beginner bike, minus a couple of cons, right? There's really nothing else that I can think of on this bike that is a con besides the seat and the handlebar position, which can easily be remedied. There's a couple other small issues. The clutch, you know, but that can be changed with clutch springs for 40 bucks, right? Clutch springs are cheap, and it'll fix the slipping clutch that the 400 and 500 has had. You know, that's no big deal. Probably a little bit better suspension all around, but for a budget bike, beginner bike, it's not horrible. And until they need to be serviced or replaced, it's not something that I'm gonna think about spending $500 on for some like Batubos or Olins or anything like that, right? it's not that serious at this moment. So it's not something that I'm gonna do until I kind of have to, because, you know, shocks on these things, you know, you're gonna get a few thousand miles out of them, and they're probably gonna start leaking. They're gonna probably start bottoming out on you. They're just not gonna perform. It's just the nature of the beast, right? Until you get some serviceable shocks, right? Just these stock OEM things, they're not gonna last you a whole super long amount of time. So yeah, that's my rant. Appreciate y'all. Don't like, don't comment, don't subscribe. I'm just some random dude on the internet who likes to ride motorcycles, and I'm a newbie, and I'm kind of opinionated. All right, y'all, ride safe.